So, so this is the platform pretty much with everything turned off. So, one of the main things using the platform, there are a lot of kind of toggle on and off buttons on the platform. So, you can easily make the chart as cluttered as you want or as clean and kind of quiet as you want, if you will. So pretty much any of these buttons at the top will turn on a different layer of the platform. So for example, MTFA is multi-timeframe analysis, essentially being able to overlay, a different time frame indicator on a lower time frame. So for example, if you wanted to look at maybe the maybe you want to look at the weekly 20-week moving average, but you want to keep that on the daily chart, you would just click this W here. So D stands for the daily, which is the main one. Weekly is the second one. And you'll see that, you can overlay this longer term time frame on a shorter term chart. So if you're trading the 5-minute, you want to see the 15-minute moving average, you can do that. Autofib and trends are essentially the ability to automate trends and Fibonacci levels on the chart. This is really an idea generator. So it's not there to replace your analysis. It's there to kind of see, okay, well, I definitely can see maybe this huge symmetrical triangle forming, or, whatever the case is. You just turn off trends and you'll see that, you keep these two lines on the chart and then everything else goes away. So it's really there to complement your analysis, not really replace it. The candle patterns is something that we touched on. So the ability to, see different candlestick patterns. Maybe I want to look at, bullish or just engulfing candles in general. I just click engulfing here, click apply, and any engulfing candle that has occurred on the chart, bullish engulfing or bearish engulfing, will show up here. So this applies to the scanner, the backtester, the alerts. So, if you want to create alerts, maybe you want to be alerted next time price gets, below a moving average and forms a piercing line, or, a bearish or a bullish engulfing candle. You can create alerts around that. And that's the same as, bots. Once you create an alert, you can essentially save the template and test it as a bot on the backtester, forward test it, all of that good stuff. So that's something that's really helpful. So for example, here, you would just go to create multi-factor alert, name it whatever you want, go to parameter, condition, let's just say a daily bullish engulfing candles occurred, and then the daily close is less than the daily SMA 20. So, maybe this is something that you want to create an alert on because you've already back tested it. Well, if you haven't, maybe somebody just told you about this strategy. You can easily go from, creating this strategy. You can see that there's no coding required. It's just Boolean conditional formatting. You could actually test this strategy out. So maybe, when the price closes less than the 20 and there's a bullish engulfing candle, test that as an entry condition and the back tester will pop up. And then you can test this. You can add your exit conditions. Let's say that you want to know what's the return after 15 candles have passed. You can do that. Or if you want to say, add another script, which is, maybe the daily candle has a bearish engulfing, or whatever, literally whatever you can think of. You can put these in. You can see that you can make as many parameters as you want. So, you could add another 5-10 conditions to this if you wanted to. You can choose how far back you want to back test this. So right now the chart is about 300 candles, and then you can choose your look back up to 10,000 candles. So, you can choose how far back do I want to back test this? Do I want to back test this just when we were, mostly in an uptrend, and then re-back test it, when we're in a downtrend. So you can do all of that by choosing the length of time that you want to back test. And then you just run the back test. You run the back test and it will give you all of the different, essentially, statistics that you'd want to know with testing a strategy. So mean trade return, performance chart, for lows, entering entering with these conditions, a bullish engulfing candle and price closing below the SMA 20, your performance would be negative 13.53% versus 13.95%. So you can see pretty much since here, this is when the back test started, your strategy and pretty much buying and holding lows would be exactly the same. If you want to go back further, if you want to go back, 3,000 candles, you may get a completely different view. 3.56 mean trade return versus before it was a negative return because we were in a downtrend. So that's different ways that you can use the strategy tester. And then you can launch this as a trading bot. So we do have an order routing tool called Signal Stack, and you can essentially create a trading bot after you've back tested a strategy and copy and paste a webhook from Signal Stack. And you can pretty much automate this as well. So that's something that is really new on TrendSpider and something we're really going to start sharing with our audience very soon. The market scanner is very similar to the back tester. You can market scan relative volume. You can scan, within 7 days, did an analyst mention, growth, or whatever the case is, an executive mentioned growth. And you can do all that simply by using the same type of Boolean conditional criteria that I showed on the back tester. And then, from there, we do have a sidebar widget. So there's different widgets that you can use. There's unusual options, smart checklist. So it will give you a checklist and show you how many conditions are met versus how many you need to be met. Seasonality, analyst estimates, just a ton of different things. A watch list or scanner, so you can have a scanner up here and just refresh the scanner, as much as you want, and it will pull up the updated results here instead of having this scanner pulled up here. So it's a very, very dense tool, but I would definitely say, as I mentioned before, the back tester, the scanner, the alerts are really, really important. And I'll touch on the alert real quick as well. This is using it on the upper part of the chart. So let's say that you want to be alerted maybe when price gets within, $1 or $2 of this line. You click here, create an alert at this line, and you can add what's called sensitivity, and you can choose the size of the alert zone. So if you really want it to be precise right by this line, you would use less sensitivity. If you want to have a little bit of margin of error, you would increase the sensitivity here. And then you can see here the different triggers you can choose for price to either break through, touch, bounce, all of the above. So it's very comprehensive in how in depth you want to get with your alert and how you want to be alerted. This goes through the system. So if you have an alert that goes off, it will pop up here in the top right. But you also have access to getting a SMS or an email when that alert goes off too. So for that, if you go to settings, account settings will have all those options there. And yeah, I'd say that's about as quick of an overview as I can give. I know I mentioned the gap detector. I'll just mention that here. This is how that works. You can see here the gaps show up, without having to do any work. You don't have to eyeball anything. The gap is simply defined right in front of you, and then you can then you can put alerts and that type of extra kind of analysis or just monitoring around these levels.
Yeah, and you can also choose between one that is already filled, right, and one that is still open.
Currently not. That's going to be a rendition of what we have now. So that will be on a future update. But for now, you will be able to just see pretty much everyone that's happened. But that is definitely a big request I have, is being able to see just the open gaps and kind of hide the closed ones.
And can we talk a little bit about the raindrops here? You see it?
Sure. Yeah. So the raindrop chart is, I'm going to turn off the gaps. So the raindrop chart is essentially this. So you can see here, this is a daily candle. And if you want to kind of compare candles here. So regular candle on the right, regular candle on the left, raindrop on the right. And you can kind of see what's going on here. For this particular candle here, you have essentially, this candle, and you will be able to see where is that volume occurring. So for example, here, most of the volume profile in the first and the second half of today's candle so far, a lot of that volume is focused at the top of the range. So, it's something to definitely consider when you're looking at, okay, is this really a breakout? Is this a volume backed breakout? Maybe you're looking at this horizontal level here as an area to watch for a breakout. You can see that there's clearly volume above this area. Textbook example would be a retest and continuation up, but you can see that there's definitely volume backing this. And then, on top of that, you can use the gap detector to see, is there a gap above? Is there a gap below that I want to use as a target? Maybe this breaks down and goes the other way. That's something as well. One thing that I'll mention here, you can change the gap factor. So if you want to just look for maybe larger gaps, like the gap factor, the bigger the gap, the larger, the bigger the ATR, the larger the gap that is going to be found. You can do that there. So maybe you don't want to look at really, really small gaps in price. Maybe you want to just look at the bigger picture. You can change the gap detector and change the ATR there. But as far as, raindrops go, that's generally how I like to use them. Okay, there's volume at the top of the range. You've got a wick here. Maybe this volume was someone really aggressively buying and absorbing supply on the market. And then as they were done buying, price is able to drop more on the, demand curve moving rather than a bunch of sellers coming in creating that wick. So this is something I like to use a ton. I also like to use it as a kind of divergence indicator. So for example, here, you've got a red daily close, but you have a green candle. I always put kind of the color of the raindrop ahead of the regular candle. So you've got a green raindrop, red candle, and you've got a 2-day bounce after that. So you can see kind of, and it's not a guarantee, but it's just another way to use raindrops where it's like, okay, there's some divergence here. Maybe I look at that a little closer.
That's a great tool for volume, understanding volume, and most day traders, especially, we all use volume as very unique and important indicator for trading. So yeah,
definitely. And I would say those are kind of your main tools and layers of the platform. You can get as deep in the platform as you want. There's a lot more to explore, but a general overview, I would say these are the main tools that really make this platform unique.
Yeah, and of course you have all the other stuff. I guess the guys at home asking themselves right now if you have the indicators, all the regular stuff like ADX, RSI.
Yep.
The classics.
Yep. So indicators are within this menu here. To turn on and off indicators, you have this expand indicator list. So you can see here, you can turn indicators on and off just by toggling this green. And then when you want to add a new indicator, you just click the indicator. It will pop up here, and then you just need to click apply for it to pop up on the chart. If you want to put it back in the indicator list, you just click it here, and it goes back into the list.
I got to say, Jack, besides the fact that it's really incredible and got a lot of features, important features for all traders, I really love the UI UX that you did here. Super intuitive, super friendly. So yeah.
Thank you. We've spent a lot of time hearing feedback and figuring out, what do we need to change? What do we not? So if anyone is using the platform and has an idea on maybe a little bit of a change to one of the features to make it more user friendly, we're always open to hear, feedback.
Nice. Okay, guys. So as I mentioned before, just go ahead and check it out. As soon as you sign in for one of our programs, it doesn't matter which tier, you will get automatically 30 days to trade with TrendSpider. And you will see, as soon as you will start, you will see the differences with trading with it and without it. So check it out. Thanks so much, Jake.
Thank you.
And I'm excited to run and get our traders to use that platform and actually push them forward.
Same. We're excited for the opportunity and excited to see the traders and what they think of it.
Nice. Thanks so much.